The studio engineer I was working with, he had other jobs and other responsibilities, so he couldn't do what I needed at a full-time basis. I didn't have money to hire anybody else. My video guy, he was having marriage trouble at that time. He stopped picking up his calls, so I didn't have any reliable team to create content, and I didn't have money to hire people. And then that's when I began working with LILLY SINGH.
She's Toronto-based.
She's Toronto-based.
How'd you hook up with her?
She reached out to me. She's like, hey, I'm starting to make stuff on YouTube. At that point, I had like 4 videos on YouTube, my music videos. I was dropping something like once every 6 months. And in the Punjabi community, that made me one of the top dogs, because there's only 4 or 5 people doing it at the time. And she's like, hey, I want to make some music with you. And she wanted to do a song about something, and I actually said no, because she was talking about some local thing that was happening in her dance world, and I didn't know anything about it. But when she started making comedy videos, we became friends, and she had asked me to be in some of her videos, and I did it, and I asked her to be in one of my music videos, and she did it. So we developed a friendship from that, and we were both full-time. We were the only 2 people who weren't viewing this as a hobby.
Nice. And that makes a big difference, right?
Makes a huge difference. You need to be around people who are taking it as serious as you. You know, there's a lot of people, it would be nice to be a full-time artist. They want to be full-time artists. You need to be around the people who need it. You know, it's the millennial dream is that we should be able to, the entitlement that we should be able to live our passion. But what you'll realize very quickly as you get into it is the only people who survive are the obsessed. You know, they're not passionate, they're obsessed. They don't have a choice.
But we've been taught obsession is unhealthy, Humble, right?
It is unhealthy. That doesn't make it any less existent. Right, you know?
Right.
If I'm obsessed with something, I can't flip the switch off. I'm obsessed. And she is an obsessed person, and she brought it to my attention. She's like, figure out what you can do by yourself. And I was reading David Thoreau's on self-reliance at this point, because I spent all my time leaning on other people, leaning on that producer to be my way out with this record deal, leaning on my employers to give me paychecks. And now I had left the zoo and the safety of it and the constraints of it, and I was in the jungle. And yeah, I was free, like my buddy in the Bay, but I was open to predators. I had to hunt my own food. I had to figure it out. And she was doing the same. And she's like, figure out what you can do by yourself. And she's like, I got my one tripod, I got my camera, I shoot my own videos, I edit them, I put them out. I'm not waiting on anybody. The work gets done, it's all on me. The work doesn't get done, it's all on me. She goes, what can you do? I was like, I can write. And she goes, so write. I was like, I don't know what to write about. She's like, you're making excuses. Just write.